Just about set for kickoff here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Mike McCarthy brings the Green Bay Packers into Atlanta with a 7-3 record, and you see his career numbers at 45 and 29. Offensively, middle of the pack, a little better. Likewise for defense, but scoring the big difference. Outscoring opponents overall by an NFL best 106 points on the year. Meanwhile, for Mike Smith, the 51-year-old native of Daytona Beach, Florida, has led the Falcons to back-to-back winning seasons. They throw it, they run it. And they are lights out here at home since Mike Smith took over.
Well, they are very good at home here, but I tell you what, as usual, the Packer fans have traveled well. They're going to have a presence in today's game.
How did you used to react when you were running the Ravens and all those Steeler fans would show up in Baltimore?
It made me so mad. I kept telling the fans, I want names. You know the guy next to you. You know who he is. You see a Steeler fan there. I want names. You know what? I got them too. About 200 of them.
That's good stuff. Atlanta won the toss, selected to receive. And Eric Weems from the goal line. Brings it up to the 24. And out comes Matt Ryan. Since being drafted with a third pick in the 2008 season, look what he has done here at the Georgia Dome. The only loss came against Denver in the 2008 season. So many weapons. Turner out of the backfield. Roddy White leads the NFL in receptions, and up front, rock solid.
Boy, this offensive line has taken every snap together so far this season. In the last 4 games, they've only given up 2 sacks.
They come out throwing. Almost looked as though it surprised Michael Jenkins. He was open. Take a look at Green Bay defensively and their 3-4 alignment under Dom Capers. Raji in the middle, flanked by Pickett and Jenkins. They've had injuries in the linebacking corps, so Bishop and Zombo are starters there.
Yeah, and in the back end, this secondary's got to find a way to match up with Roddy White, the leading receiver in the National Football League. They're going to have to do it with a whole bunch of bodies.
2nd and 10. This is Michael Turner. He is met immediately by Desmond Bishop. Bishop replacing one of the many injured Green Bay Packers, both on defense and offense this year, Nick Barnett. 2nd all-time leading tackler in the history of the Green Bay Packers, but Bishop's done a nice job replacing him.
Yeah, this defense, the job it has done with the constant rotation of personnel. They're going to be tested today, but this is a solid group.
3rd and 8. Ryan rolls. Drops it off to Snelling, and he has the first down to the 39. Jason Snelling, so valuable out of the backfield as a runner and a receiver.
Well, you're going to see the athleticism of Matt Ryan. These 2 quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers, not guys known coming out of college that were particularly athletic or nifty, but both know how to extend the play. Matt Ryan getting that 3rd down conversion all on his own.
After the gain of 12, first down carried by Turner, the NFL's 6th leading rusher. Breaks a couple of tackles, and that'll be a gain of 13. Crossing into Green Bay territory, run out at the 47-yard line.
Now, I want you to watch the patience of Michael Turner here, Tom. Just kind of works his way into the line, waiting for that seam to open up. Ovie Mahaley leaving for him. Waits, and then watch. All of a sudden turns on a little bit of speed. More so than you'd think out of a big back like Michael Turner. Mike McCarthy said this man has the body, the lower body of a 280-pound lineman.
Turner again. Not much running room this time. A.J. Hawk in his 5th year, the leading tackler of the Packers. Stops Turner after a gain of maybe 2.
Well, as we thought, you can see the numbers here on Michael Turner, and he'll tell you, I'm a fresh back. in the 6th year. First couple years in San Diego, didn't carry the ball a lot. Anytime you get up above 300 carries, you worry about the wear and tear on the back. Michael Turner didn't have that wear and tear early in his career.
Empty backfield. Ryan out of the shotgun. Steps up. And it's caught at the 30-yard line by who else? Roddy White. His 80th reception of the year. That's most in the NFL.
Roddy White has just exploded onto the scene with Matt Ryan. The consistency that Matt Ryan, and you can see right here, their ability to orchestrate these long drives with the combination of the run and Matt Ryan converting on 3rd down. They're as good as anybody in the league, and all of a sudden you look up and they've just gobbled up huge chunks of clock.
And you see only 2 offensive penalties per game.
That's a huge part of it.
First down, Ryan again to throw it. Flag comes down. Reception made by Snelling, defended by A.J. Hawk. They may get Hawk for pass interference.
Yeah, defensive holding.
Holding. Number 21, 25 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You're going to see this down the field. It's in here, or gets a chunk of Roddy White. He comes out. It's Rod Woodson. He said number 25. I think he mistakenly met Charles Woodson, excuse me. Just kind of grabbed him as going by. He didn't want Roddy White to take that 7 route over the top for a score.
Woodson, the NFL's reigning defensive player of the year from a season ago.
Yeah, Charles Woodson. I couldn't help but go back to my old safety, Rod Woodson.
Hey.
He was guilty of holding a few times as well.
He'd never admit to that.
No.
So an automatic first down after the penalty. Turner tripped up by the cornerback, Tramon Williams. Williams is having a very, very good year. He certainly plays in the shadow of Woodson as the cornerback on the other side, but he has 4 interceptions over the last 6 games.
Well, you know, we were at the game when Al Harris went down last year, Tom, and all of a sudden Tramon Williams got pushed into the forefront. They were worried about it at the time, but he has developed into a top-rate corner.
They play on this game-opening drive for Atlanta. Turner busy early. Zombo there on the tackle. It'll bring up a 3rd down. And a late flag comes in.
You can tell there's a lot on the line. Don't tell me these players don't know what's on the line here in terms of home field advantage, maybe even getting pushed out of the playoffs. They're chipping early.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit. Number 73, the offense. 15-yard penalty on the down will count. 3rd down.
For those that have watched Harvey Dahl through the years, he very much has a nasty reputation.
Well, that right side of Dahl and Clabo, if there's something going on in the field, one of those two is going to be there. You're going to see here just the pushing and shoving. You saw it just come into the frame right there. Yeah, he knew right away. He immediately went to the official. When you push a guy and immediately look to the official, you know you've done something wrong.
Gave a shove to Desmond Bishop there, so it now backs him up. A 3rd and 20 from the 34-yard line. Three-man rush. Jenkins a catch, but short of the first down. So after a lengthy drive, already at 5 minutes off the clock, Green Bay will deny Atlanta the end zone, at least for the time being.
But at least it's 3 points. You can talk about chewing up the clock and 10-minute drives, but long drives without points are like empty calories in a diet. They do you no good. At least they're coming away with a 3 after a long offensive possession.
An attempt for 3. 38 yards out. It's Matt Bryant who's having an outstanding year. He's only missed 3 field goals the entire season. And he just snuck it in the right upright. 3-0 Atlanta. Aaron Rodgers in the pack will try and answer. 9:31 to play in the opening quarter. Atlanta for the 26th time this season, something you talked about just a short while ago, a drive of 10 or more plays. That is most in the NFL.
And that's their profile, the ability to run and throw the ball. The Packers dodged a bullet with the penalty by turning a 3rd and 5, very convertible for Atlanta, into a 3rd and 20.
Let's keep an eye on Sam Shields, a rookie. He'll bring it out 5 yards from the end zone. He's had a couple of big returns, but not here. Troy Bierman, Eric Weems down to get him. Here comes Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay with a football for the first time. Aaron Rodgers has gone from a solid first-year starter in Brett Favre's shadow to one of the game's top young quarterbacks over the last 2 years, and in the last 2 weeks, he has been lights out. They'll throw it on first down. Nope, Rodgers going to run it. A cut from behind by Troy Bierman. Take a look at Green Bay offensively. Brandon Jackson, their leading rusher. The hottest receiver in the NFL right now is Greg Jennings.
Yeah, and the offensive line, it's been a bit of transition, but Mike McCarthy's told us he just lives better when he sees big Brian Bulaga and Chad Clifton run out there, all 6'5", 320-plus pounds of him.
Clifton has found the fountain of youth.
Boy, he is reborn, isn't he? Just at the right time for Green Bay.
Gain of 6 on the run by Rodgers. This time they give it to Brandon Jackson. And he's tripped up at the 18-yard line. They give up some yards, but they're very stingy as far as points allowed. Sean Weatherspoon not quite up to 100% after the knee injury over a month ago.
And this secondary is going to be very conscious of not giving up a big play to Greg Jennings, who you mentioned earlier. We're going to see a lot of passive zones by the Atlanta Falcons in this secondary.
Rodgers slides, and it's going to be very close depending on where they spot it. He needed to get to the 21. I don't know if he made it.
Yeah, it looked like you can see Rodgers doing a nice job here. You can see the pass rush is going to end up on the outside. He climbs the pocket, and when he sees he's got nothing in front of him, he's got a very clear-cut idea of where that first down is. That was awful close, but it looks like he got there, and he did. No, they're calling it 4th down and punt. Excuse me.
You, when you watch that replay, it makes you wonder.
I don't know that. I don't challenge that one.
Well, too late for that now. On the punt it, Tim Mastay, and it will be downed at the 27. Atlanta right back on offense, leading 3-0.
Boy, that was a late flag that came in.
And they're pointing at the Green Bay sideline. Eric Weems is anyhow. Pete Morelli, our referee today.
The illegal touching. He has a chance here now. He has the option. Let's see what they're trying to explain to us. He normally would have an option. He can make him re-kick it after backing up 5 or just add 5 to the end of the play here.
Well, the coaches like you at home, everybody waiting.
We have the
so
illegal
he's out of bounds right there.
Of the kick. Number 24 went out of bounds and was first to touch the ball. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. Timeout.
So there you have it. Atlanta 3-0 lead. The Falcons, of course, with the best record in the NFC, tied for the best record in the NFL, have not lost this season at home. And the Packers going into play today, tied atop the NFC North with Chicago. The Bears will play Philadelphia at Soldier Field later this afternoon on Fox. Michael Turner on a first down carry. Across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. We told you how Atlanta wins. What about the Green Bay Packers?
Well, that turnover ratio last year, they were second in the league in terms of turnovers. They've fallen off a little bit, but clearly that turnover ratio and the way they're able to play defense based on those turnovers is a big part of their success.
And look at that number at the bottom. When the Packers turn it over, they've only given up 18 points.
That's huge. That's huge when you can cover a mistake that way.
Snelling bottled up for maybe a gain of a yard. Third down upcoming for the Falcons, and we check in for the first time today with Kurt Menefee back in Los Angeles.
Well, after the Redskins scored on their first drive of the game, the Vikings answered that with a touchdown on their first drive. Adrian Peterson, 5-yard score, ties the game at 7 late in the first quarter. Of course, as you guys know, Leslie Frazier making his head coaching debut for the Vikings. Dick and Charles.
Third down and 2 for the Falcons. Down goes Ryan in the arms of Frank Zombo, the rookie out of Central Michigan. He's replacing, of course, another injured Packer in Brad Jones.
And this is as simple as a screwdriver. No stunts, no games, just a solid 4-man rush that gets overwhelmed by the Packer defensive line. Zombo's an amazing story. You know, for him to come on and have the impact he's had for this defense, Tom, undrafted free agent, that's an example of what this coaching staff's been able to do, just plugging guys in.
Michael Keenan from his own 15 puts a foot on it. Tramon Williams backed up to the 20. And a couple of nifty moves. The flag comes down as Williams was a step away perhaps of breaking it for a huge return, a 14-yard return. But again, a flag down on the play, and an injured Packer is back at the 20-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 23 of the kick receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Well, they take a look at Pat Lee, 5:05 to go, and Green Bay with the football. Second possession for Green Bay. This drive begins from its own 15-yard line, trailing the Falcons in the opening quarter 3-0. Greg Jennings, a reception, cuts it back to the middle of the field and all the way up to the 45-yard line. 30-yard gain on the first down completion of Jennings, who in his last 5 games has 32 catches.
You can see pressure off the edge. We heard from Atlanta they were concerned about showing pressure to Aaron Rodgers. He's third best in the league throwing against pressure defenses. He showed it right there. And now he sees a passive zone. Aaron Rodgers, enough of a veteran now, likely to see a run here with this passive look.
And that it is. Gets out of the grasp of Babineau and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and flags fly in from all directions. I believe this may be a face mask against Atlanta.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Number 91 in the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, clearly a grab there. You get out flanked like that, and now you reach out. You see Corey Peters getting hooked and just had to reach out looking for anything. The last thing you want to grab is a face mask and add what was a shutdown run play. Now it's an automatic first down on the other side of the 50. Green Bay running no huddle. Haven't done a lot of this to this point. trying to see if they can force Atlanta into a coverage error by moving their people around in a no-huddle offense. Passive coverage by Atlanta.
Perfect throw was the catch made by Donald Driver. Yes, for a first down to the 23. And again in hurry-up mode is Green Bay offensively.
Driver on the outside with, on the inside in the slot. Just that skinny inside slant route by Green Bay. Uncharacteristically staying no huddle inside the red zone.
Brandon Jackson maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, typically a team that doesn't run a lot of no huddle, Tom, will break it down either on third down or as you get into the red zone. And obviously Green Bay, trusting Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy's got his veteran quarterback, feels like this is the way to attack Atlanta, something they've not shown a lot of.
Rodgers, a very gifted runner. He doesn't get much credit for it. He may not be the fastest guy at the quarterback position in the league, but he ran for over 300 yards last year and will more than likely do the same thing again this year.
Yeah, you're going to see this line get collapsed down in a stunt here, and now they've got this edge right here. Aaron Rodgers fell in the draft because supposedly people question his athletic ability. We've all been proven wrong.
See his rushing numbers for the season, 3 rushing touchdowns. A first and 10 at the Atlanta 13, and a timeout is called. Green Bay knocking on the door. Inside the red zone, Green Bay among the best in the NFL.
And what you don't see, no interceptions down here. Very smart play by the Packers and Aaron Rodgers down here.
First down, they'll give it to Jackson. Big hole as he cuts it back to the inside. It quickly closes as he carries to the 9. That'll be a gain of 4 for Brandon Jackson, trying to fill the shoes of Ryan Grant, who rushed for better than 1,200 yards in each of the last 2 years and injured his ankle, out for the year, the very first game of the season.
Yeah, and that was a huge blow for the Packers, but you give Mike McCarthy credit. He is going to continue to press the run to keep that balance for what it does for his offense, even if they're not particularly good at it. Empty backfield here. Ball should come out of his hands quickly.
Gonna run it again. And he's inside the 5, very close to a first down. First down marker about the 3.5.
And I tell you what, the Atlanta Falcons, we've seen 2 plays by Aaron Rodgers climbing up the pocket where he's gotten good yardage. This was only a 3-man rush, but they better put someone on Rodgers, at least be aware of him, because he can do some damage with his legs, as we've seen, Tom.
Third down, less than a yard. Dimitri Nance, number 23, checks in for the first time. Joining him in the backfield, 45, Quinn Johnson. They give it to Nance. Still on his feet. And that's what they like about Nance. They signed him off the Atlanta practice squad after Grant was injured. And after taking a big-time hit at the line of scrimmage, did he get enough?
Watch the way these linebackers fill, Tom. This is one of the best flowing defenses in the league. When they come up, they come ready to hit. That's a heck of a goal line stand for Atlanta, now forcing them into a field goal attempt, just like Green Bay did to them.
Are you surprised that Green Bay is not going for it here? 4th and less than a yard.
You know what? They have such faith in their offense, but they know this is, you're on the road, big time game. A long drive like that, you want to come away with some points, at least the first time.
Mason Crosby from 22 yards away, and it is good. So 4 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And a 3-3 affair. While we have a moment, we would love to welcome the men and women in uniform serving around the world watching today's telecast in 175 countries and ships abroad on AFN, the American Forces Network. We cannot thank you for all you do serving the greatest country in the world. We hope you're enjoying the telecast, and may God bless each and every one of you.
Well, Aaron Rodgers pushing Green Bay into a no-huddle offense there. Again, uncharacteristic for them. Mike McCarthy said this was the smartest group of receivers he's ever been around. One of the difficulties for defenses against Green Bay is they move Donald Driver and Jennings all over the place. If you want to isolate a guy, you're going to have to find him first. They did it in the no-huddle as well. So clearly their plan is to be as multiple as they can to see if they can push and prod this passive zone defense of the Atlanta Falcons. We've seen two 10-play drives here, both coming up with just 3 points.
Eric Weems out of the end zone. And a good return up to the 28. And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. Two of the best teams in the NFC tied at 3. And Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages. Some of the numbers from the opening quarter, two evenly matched teams.
Well, we said coming in, you had a tough time differentiating these two teams based on what they've done thus far. Those stats tell you exactly that.
Should be noted, those two penalties against Atlanta, extremely costly.
And very uncharacteristic for Atlanta. Matt Ryan's checking here now, trying to take advantage of the matchups that he sees.
Turner bounces off a tackle and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Matthews, the first man to meet him, but Turner stays on his feet. 2nd down and 10 upcoming.
And here Atlanta goes into the no huddle. We anticipated this to a degree. The thing about the Atlanta no huddle, they just move in and out of it. That really tests the defense. It's not like they stay in it the whole game. You can see how passive they get in the secondary with it.
Turner again. Better running room this time. Caught by Bishop and A.J. Hawk. Let's check in for the first time today with Laura Oakman. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Tom. Well, the Packers haven't faced a team that runs a lot of no-huddle offense, so they practiced it a lot this week, according to defensive coordinator Dom Capers. I talked to Clay Matthews, who said communication is key today. He said they're using one-word play calls. Buzz, X, White will take the place of 8-word play calls today to get them on page quickly.
Laura, thank you very much. A 3rd down and 3. They stay with that no huddle, although Ryan now checking off to a different play. Up top, and an eye on Harry Douglas.
And that shows you the confidence Atlanta has in Matt Ryan in the no huddle. As I said earlier, typically you'll break down the no huddle on a 3rd down because you want a more orchestrated call. But they've got huge faith on Matt Ryan in orchestrating their no huddle offense, which has been a key component to their success thus far.
A 3-and-out defensively for Green Bay in this 3-3 game. A minute and a half into the 2nd quarter. Lamont Williams from the 19, and he's going the wrong way. Smothered all the way back to the 15-yard line after a 47-yard punt by Michael Kanan. There's a lot of pushing and shoving at the bottom of that pile. Falcons signaling there was a loose football at the bottom. And they would be incorrect in that assumption. Pat Lee injured on the first punt return of the game. went into the locker room. They brought him out. They're taking a look at his left ankle, and his return is questionable. They're already thin in that Green Bay secondary. Blitz coming on a first down. Rodgers saw it coming all the way and hits on the slant to Brett Swain. Second-year receiver out of San Diego State, just his third catch, and after being shoved out of bounds, a flag comes in which should tack on 15 more.
Atlanta, the least penalized team in the league.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 25 of the defense. Unnecessary late hit. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Aaron Rodgers, you're going to see pressure come off the outside here. As we said, right there it shows up with a DB pressure or linebacker pressure in a nickel situation. Aaron Rodgers, as good as they're in the league against pressure defenses, we did not think we'd see Atlanta bring this much pressure early.
That's a third personal foul against the Falcons in the game already today. That one on William Moore. Rodgers finds Jordy Nelson inside the 35 to the 33.
And this is what we thought we'd see a lot more of. When we visited with Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, they thought this would be a 30-reception game, which means they anticipated against a very loose or passive zone of the Atlanta Falcons, they'd have to drop the ball off more. But the Atlanta Falcons have brought pressure twice and have been burned both times.
Empty backfield on this 2nd and 4. Falcons showing blitz again, and here they come. And Rodgers had an eye on pay dirt if he connects here with Greg Jennings.
That is, and having brought the pressure and gotten burnt, you can't get skittish now. Defensive coordinator Brian Van Gorder has got Witherspoon or Lofton in the middle of the game having to run with that tight end. They've been burnt twice. They won on that one. We're going to see a mix. But Brian Van Gorder knows you can't just do one thing against the caliber of quarterback of Aaron Rodgers.
Third down and 4.
When I talk about a passive zone, you can see here with these safeties, that's what I'm talking about. A loose zone that's going to force the Packers to drop the ball off underneath.
3-man rush. Rodgers all day to throw. And finds an open receiver. They convert for a first down. Moore slams James Jones to the deck, but not before the first down catch to the 25.
And here's the dilemma for Brian Van Gorder and the Atlanta Falcons defense. You don't want to pressure a lot against Aaron Rodgers. We just talked about that. But I'm not sure Atlanta can get enough pressure on Aaron Rodgers with just a 4-man rush. So it's what way do you want to get beat? Bring the pressure and let him complete it behind us for a big play, or let him slowly pick us to death like he did on that last play with just a 4-man rush.
Here they come again. For Aaron Rodgers, even in our conversations with him, is there a cooler guy you'll ever meet in your life? Let's send it back to Kurt Menefee.
Were you talking about me being a cooler guy than Aaron Rodgers? Is that what the setup was? Anyway, Benton Hillis, his second touchdown today. He's got 10 on the year rushing for the Cleveland Browns. Ties him with Jim Brown and 3 others for the Cleveland record. 14-7, Cleveland on top of Carolina. Tom? Brian?
Kurt, we know you're cool. Just before it hit the ground, Jordy Nelson able to wrap his paws around it. He'll be very close to a first down, might be a few inches short.
Look at this, pulling up off the rug right here just before. That's good hands right there. Jordy Nelson, one of the sure-handed receivers that they have. And they got the first down. So again, those underneath zones, dropping the ball off for now 2 third-down conversions against that zone coverage of Atlanta. Brian Van Gorder may have to dial up another pressure here, as risky as that is, because right now Aaron Rodgers is picking apart his zone coverage.
7 completions for Rodgers to 5 different receivers. And look at those red zone numbers again. First down. Jones still on his feet to the 7. Jones has taken over as the number 3 receiver in this offense. That's his 32nd catch of the year. Sometimes he's a forgotten man when you're worried about Jennings. When they had Jermichael Finley healthy, you know about Donald Driver. Jones can really hurt you as well.
And the way with the loss of a tight end like Jermichael Finley, particularly here in the red zone, they've got to find a way to manufacture that productivity, and they're doing it with the receivers across the board.
Play clock down to 2.
He sees something he likes.
Isolation for Jones. And that's a first down to the 2-yard line.
And this is the thing, when you look at the names on this list, Tom. I mean, if you'd have started the season saying no Ryan Grant running the ball, no Jermichael Finley, you're going to lose your right tackle, Mark Tauscher. Defensively, Barnett, Brad Jones, opposite Clay Matthews is gone. Morgan Burnett. You'd look at them at that and say, you know what? I'm not sure Green Bay isn't going to end up in last place of the NFC North.
And that's after knowing Atari Bigby wouldn't start the year because he was already hurt. First and goal. And through the hands of the intended receiver, Quinn Johnson. Curious call there. Johnson has not caught a pass the entire year.
Well, this is in every offense in the National Football League, high school, college. It's a play fake with a corner of the end zone with the trail man. Looks like the corner route should have been a little bit deeper to give him the opportunity to go over the top. I'm not quite sure who that was to. The flat man, the fullback, or the receiving tight end at the back of the end zone.
Well, look at Croy Bierman out in coverage.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want that matchup too often.
Second and goal. 10th play of the drive. Rodgers stuffed inside the 1 by Parade Jerry.
Very impressive by the Atlanta defense. You empty out the backfield. Aaron Rodgers steps up, thinks he can sneak in a quarterback sneak, and the defensive line just tees off right here. It looks like you got to walk into the end zone, and right now, nice stop. Look at the way the linebackers come up and fill so quickly.
Well, we saw Green Bay stopped on a 3rd and 1 in the red zone during the opening quarter. They gave it to number 23, Dimitri Nance, who's checked back in. Rodgers will keep it. And is that ball on the ground in the end zone? Atlanta says it is. It is! A turnover. The first fumble this season by Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and Mike McCarthy, you could see it right there. What happened?
They've not turned it over in their last 3 games. It's not a good sign. Taking a look at the throwing right hand, right wrist of Aaron Rodgers on that Green Bay sideline. We told you for Rodgers, that is his first fumble this year. He fumbled 21 times over the last 2 years, but none this season until inside the 1. So we're tied at 3, and Ryan to throw. Catch made by Justin Peel, the first down to the 35.
Boy, and it's the best of both worlds here. Lofton and Bierman get the hit right there. You can see the ball coming out. And as bad as that is, they're going to get the ball, Atlanta, on the 1-yard line. But all of a sudden now, you're going to see the thing bounce out again here and end up in the end zone. So it comes out to the 20. Life's good for the Atlanta Falcons right now. The ball literally bouncing their way.
Play fake to Turner. And shot put into Tony Gonzalez. And the NFL's all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns by a tight end, his first catch of the afternoon.
And a real comfort zone for Matt Ryan is Tony Gonzalez, particularly with the running game they've got going. When you can play action fake, the tight end is your best friend in the passing game, because once the run fake happens, linebackers jump all over that, and your tight end is a great outlet pass for you.
Short drop. Michael Jenkins for a first down to the 45. Hey, if you're curious, and we were talking about Tony Gonzalez earlier this year about how he's never been hurt, only missed a couple of games. Beautiful look at Jenkins in the reception. The last time Tony Gonzalez played in a game where he didn't catch a pass, you've got to go back 10 years ago yesterday. 2000 in a game against San Diego.
And he could probably tell you if you asked him when it was.
Turner crosses midfield to the 49.
Michael Turner is such a huge. Last year when Atlanta, even though they had back-to-back winning seasons, they did not go back to the playoffs, and it was the loss of Michael Turner that you could attribute because it affects your game so much. Remember what I said about McCarthy saying that lower body has the lower body of a 270-pound man? Well, right there you can see it. Guys bounce off that lower body if you can get low enough to hit him there.
First down for Turner inside the 45, tackled at the 43.
And this is what Green Bay has to nip in the bud right here. We opened up the game, Tom, talking about Atlanta's ability to shove the ball down your throat right between the tackles. Green Bay has to do whatever they can to bring guys down the box, stunt, game, whatever you got to do. Make us vulnerable on the outside, that's fine, but we can't let you run it down our throat like this.
Second quarter success, nothing new for the Falcons, and they're on the move, trying to recapture the lead. But for the second time, Ryan is sacked, this time by big Cullen Jenkins. They were worried about him being healthy enough to play after injuring his calf in the fourth quarter last week in Minnesota.
Dom Capers said it's going to be tough to get to this guy, Matt Ryan, because he gets the ball out so quickly. But we've seen him gotten to with a simple four-man rush. Dom Capers right here, as good as there is in the business in terms of matching up defenses with what you do best.
Ryan was looking for Roddy White, but overthrew it. It brings that third down and 19.
Yeah, and this is uncharacteristic of Atlanta. We've seen two penalties cost them severely in terms of turning a convertible third down into a third and 19 or 20. And now you're going to see a sack puts them into another third and 20. Matt Ryan's only been sacked twice in the last 4 games.
And a third penalty, a third personal foul penalty.
Yes,
I forgot about that only because of the fumble. Now Ryan finds Mahaley. And he runs hard to the 35. Do you think about going for it here, Brian Billick? 4th down and 2 yards at the 35-yard line.
Well, the way this game's been going, and I think they are, because right now Mike Smith knows this is a track meet. And even though I don't want to turn the ball over here for Green Bay, on the other side of the 50, I punt it here. I may only gain 10, 12 yards. If that thing goes into the end zone, I think it's a good call going for it in 4th down here.
7 out of 9. On 4th down.
Tony Gonzalez area right here.
Ryan throws, and it is Gonzalez for a first down.
Well, that's nothing but pick and roll basketball. Basketball on grass. That's not the way he designed it. You see Matt Ryan running away from pressure. We've talked about the athleticism. Tony Gonzalez, look at those hands going down, the ball away from his body. That's why.
Oh, I don't know. They may want to take a look at this. You saw the ball with its nose on the ground there.
But you didn't see the ball move at all. They go to a no huddle. They want to get it off before the challenge just in case.
And they get it off. As Turner plows forward.
That's good orchestration by Atlanta, getting up and getting that play called off quickly. The key is, do you see the ball move? Remember, you can trap the ball, as it were. He's got firm control. It comes down, do you see the laces move? Oh, boy.
That's not a catch.
Yeah, I'm afraid that one, from that angle, looks like they got away from one. Give Atlanta credit for getting up and getting the ball off quickly. That's one of those where the coach is up in the booth. Right now, Mike McCarthy's screaming like a stuck pig, wondering, why didn't you tell me to throw the flag? I guarantee you they didn't see it.
Now the clock winding down to the 2-minute warning. So it'll be second down at the Green Bay 26-yard line in a 3-3 affair.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Visa. More people go with Visa.
2-minute warning. Atlanta with a second down at the Green Bay 26-yard line. Second down and 6. Ryan. Clean catch this time by Gonzalez. It's first and goal. You know, you go back to the catch. At least we thought it was a catch. It was ruled a catch and not challenged a moment ago.
No, and you can see here clearly that it should have been challenged had they had that time, because the ball is moving there. Things are going Atlanta's way, because had that happened a couple seconds later, it would have been inside the 2-minute, and it might have bought a booth review. The coaches didn't have time to see that to challenge Atlanta very intelligently getting up and running a play.
First down and goal. They give it to Turner. And he is smacked at the line of scrimmage by B.J. Raji.
Boy, these guys are like prize fighter, body blow after body blow. We see a 10-play drive by Atlanta, then a 10-play drive by Green Bay, and now we come back, and obviously with little help. Remember, this thing should have started back on the 1-yard line. Things are going Atlanta's way, started on the 20. These guys are just taking body blow after body blow. Again, a championship caliber mentality.
Under a minute. Trips to the right. They hand it off to Turner. And Clay Matthews comes down the line of scrimmage to catch Turner. It brings up third down and goal. Really, it's typical of both of these defenses. They may give up at times their fair share of yards. Green Bay much better statistically than Atlanta in that category. But as far as scoring defense, Green Bay tied with Chicago for the best in the NFL. And Atlanta's 7th best.
Yeah, and that combination, we always talk about turnover differential, getting and giving turnovers, explosive differential. Same thing with scoring. It's not enough just to not give up a lot of points. You got to get some points as well. So these teams are perfectly balanced.
Coming up on the Visa halftime report, we'll catch you up to date for the scores and highlights around the league. Leslie Frazier's debut in Minnesota, and can the Giants get it turned around? Third down and goal after the timeout. 12 seconds to play. Touchdown, Tony Gonzalez.
Well, this just got to be a blown coverage by the Green Bay Packers, because if I'm down on the 4-yard line, one guy I'm definitely going to account for is a future Hall of Famer, Tony Gonzalez. Matt Ryan putting it up good and high. And just to make sure you know I got some ups, I'll dunk it on top of it.
Yeah, back to his football and basketball days at Cal.
A heck of a basketball player at Cal.
Indeed. So now the point after. And it is good. My, what a turn of events here as the flag comes in late again after the point after. When Gonzalez and the Falcons still celebrating the go-ahead touchdown, leading 10-3. Well, you look back to Green Bay at the 1-yard line, the fumble by Aaron Rodgers, his first fumble of the year. And then all the way down the field goes Atlanta to recapture the lead.
Well, we talk about it all the time, Tom, the emotional ebb and flow of the game. This game emotionally feels like a playoff game, feels like a championship game. Each team responding to the challenge of the other. Again, Green Bay marching down the length of the field. The unfortunate, uncharacteristic fumble of Aaron Rodgers. Looks like we got the call coming out. Or not. Guess they don't need to tell us. But the way they responded now to take this thing 80 yards down the field, this is why this team is so good at home. I'm talking about Atlanta now, obviously, to respond emotionally after giving up the drive they just did to Green Bay. That's a championship caliber response by the Atlanta Falcons.
We'll take a timeout. 10-3 Atlanta. After the first Green Bay turnover in their last 3 games, Atlanta goes 80 yards, 14 plays, nearly 7.5 minutes, capped off by the Ryan to Tony Gonzalez touchdown. 8 seconds remaining until the half. There was a penalty, which Pete Morelli never told us what it was. It has to be some kind of personal foul.
On the kickoff.
Well, we understand it was assessed on the kickoff. It was against Green Bay. So Atlanta will kick off from the 45.
We used to call that getting CIA'd. I mean, obviously there was a call, but it was all undercover.
How did you react to that kind of thing?
How did you? I used the term stuck pig a minute ago. None too well.
He missed it wide right.
All right, well, Aaron Rodgers got a lot of confidence in his team, got a lot of confidence in receivers, but with 20 seconds left, or excuse me, 8 seconds left, I'm not sure they don't just take a knee here, regroup, down 10-3. They got to regroup emotionally, having been on the verge of a score, and then to see Atlanta go 80 yards on a magnificent drive to take the lead.
Well, he's just going to take a knee, it appears. He will. And that's that. So, 2 of the top teams in the NFC have played 30 minutes of football. And the Falcons lead the Green Bay Packers 10-3. Fox NFL Sunday continues with a Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Green Bay will get the football to begin the 3rd quarter. We invite you to follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL.
Well, you can see here that the statistics, we said coming in, this is going to be a balanced football game. So you can see right here, rushing the ball favors Atlanta a little bit. Only 4 possessions. Well, when you're running 10 play possessions on each drive, it's going to be that way. The 3 things that have, both are models of efficiency. Where are the big plays? Green Bay has 2 plays over 20 yards. Atlanta only 1. They're going to need to show up. And the last knockout punch, whoever has the ball last, likely going to win this game.
You know, Brian Billick, you look at a couple of 3rd down plays, 3rd and 1, twice inside the red zone for Green Bay, and on neither occasion could the Packers convert on 3rd down and a yard.
And that's what we're talking about, Green Bay's inability to run the ball, particularly in key situations. They're without their lead back, Ryan Grant. They haven't been able to generate it when they need it. 2 plays, Aaron Rodgers trying to sneak. When that's your best running back, you got issues.
Well, Sam Shields, a rookie, waits as the second half is underway. And Shields will bring it out for a second time. 5 yards from his end zone. And Shields is tripped up by the kicker. Michael Kanan tripped him up right at the 27-yard line, and he lunges forward out close to the 35. So that's a good start for Green Bay. One thing to certainly keep an eye on, Brian, the right wrist or the right hand they were looking at for Aaron Rodgers just before the half.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if that shows up here. This is on the throwing hand, and that wrist, the snap of the wrist could be an issue. Green Bay has got to continue to try to get something out of the running game, even if it's not big plays. Mike McCarthy's committed to trying to keep balance because, as he says, 50% of our passing game has to come off those play-action fakes.
And naturally, they'll start off in an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. From the 32. And a catch is made for a second time by Swain, and he's close to a first down up to the 41. Let's check in with Laura.
Tom, I talked to Tony Gonzalez pregame, and he said he wasn't as much worried about how the Falcons offense was going to match up with the Packers defense, but how they were going to match up with the Packers offense. They've been expecting this track meet. Mike Smith said he's happy with the pressure they're getting on Aaron Rodgers, but they want to get more. They want to have a good mixture going, get in his face, and zone coverage. Mike McCarthy saying it's tackling defensively. We've got to get fundamentally sound, make our tackles.
Great to have Laura Oakman with us this week. They pitch it on a 2nd down and a yard, and the failure or the inability again to run the ball. And Brian Williams comes up to make the tackle.
You know, they're doing everything they can to make something happen here. And this is just a quick little pitch play. You can see this is just a 4-man front. But watch how quickly the linebackers fill. This is designed to get outside. The linebackers fill right now over the top. That's the hallmark of this Atlanta defense. Once they read and recognize what's going on, they pull the trigger. They can afford to have this passive zone I've been talking about. If once you see it's a run game or the ball's dropped off, we can come screaming down and make the tackle.
So 2nd and less than 2 goes to 3rd and 7. Blitz coming. Rodgers gets it away. Juggled. And up to the 41, short of the first down, is the rookie tight end Andrew Quarles. So the sack, or the loss actually on the pitch to Brandon Jackson, forces Green Bay to punt it.
And that's part of what pressure does as well. You get a 3rd and long, bring pressure, make him get out of his hands quickly, and rally up to make the tackle. That's the hallmark right here of the Atlanta defense. Mike McCarthy, so impressed with the job of the Atlanta defense in terms of its fundamentals and breaking down and tackling.
That one punted out of bounds. And let's see where they spot it. All the way up, still walking, the 25-yard line. Atlanta will get the football for the first time here in the 2nd half against Matthews and company. Atlanta leading 10-3. Already the 14th carry of the afternoon by Turner, and it's his best run.
And this is very typical of Turner. He looks like he's wrapped up. They're just going to simply block on the edge, lead to the outside. And all of a sudden you think, okay, we've got him. We've got hats on him. We're surrounded. And all of a sudden he comes out of it. He is so big and so powerful. He has such a great balance point that he just gets positive yards after that first initial hit by the defender.
70 rushing yards for Turner, and he'll add to that total. Picks up close to 3 on first down. Take a look at Atlanta offensively. In the first half, we talked about Turner. He had 13 carries in the first half, and now 14 of them for 70 yards. Gonzalez beat it up on that final drive, and Matt Ryan, very efficient.
Yeah, 10 of 13, I'd say that's efficient. And when anytime you see Michael Turner on pace for a plus 20, plus 25 carry game, then life is good for the Atlanta Falcons.
Play clock was down to 3. So Atlanta spends its first time out here in the 2nd half. John Abraham and the Atlanta defense standing tall thus far against one of the best offenses in the league. But Turner is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by A.J. Hawk, the #1 pick in 2006 out of Ohio State. And in each of his first 5 years, he's either led them in tackles or finished 2nd in tackles. He's all around the football.
Yeah, and A.J. Hawk is transitioning from that player, just not a great player, but one that can transition from recognition to action so quickly. Now you add the experience he's gaining, you make plays like that blowing through the line for a loss.
That brings up a 3rd down and 8. Snelling dropped by Nick Collins, and Atlanta's forced to punt.
And that's what these two defenses are doing. They're doing such a great job with coverage down the field. They're going to make you, as is typical on a 3rd and long, throw it short. Somebody has to make a play. Very few 3rd and longs are converted throwing it at the chains or beyond the chains. It's typically throwing it underneath, and can that guy make a play, break a tackle for the first down.
Tramon Williams waiting inside his own 15. Back bringing the house. Blocked well by Atlanta. Williams a fair catch, just short of the 20. So a second possession in this second half for Green Bay, trailing by a touchdown. Atlanta 10, Green Bay 3. 10 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter.
Green Bay's in a 5 wide receiver, no back. I hope they haven't given up on the run totally, but right now it's all about Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball.
Steps up, and the catch is made up to the 29-yard line by Donald Driver. Punt, field goal, fumble at the 1-yard line when they were going in to try and take the lead. Then they ran just one play for the half. 3 and out, their first possession of this second stanza.
Yeah, and emotionally, like we talk about, you go the length of the field twice and only come away with 3 points. That does something to you, particularly on the road.
Here's a handoff to Brandon Jackson, and again, we'll find out what they can do at 3rd down and 1. I continue to be miffed, Brian Billick, and you and I talk about this every weekend. When you hear people say, the running game doesn't matter anymore. Really? Go down there and tell Green Bay that right now.
And I'll make the point again, Mike McCarthy, you can see right there, we got to get something out of it. He knows he's got to stay with the running game because, as he told us, half of his passing game is based off of play action fake. If you eliminate the run altogether, you're eliminating half of his passing attack.
Pitch it back to Rodgers. Looking down the field. Wide open is Jennings. Inside the 40 and dropped at the 37. The ball is loose. Or is it? We're still waiting on the signal from the official. I think they might even need to talk about it. Because it looked like a Packer has the football when all is said and done.
Well, they're looking to who has it, so they're saying it is a fumble right now. He's not signaling down by contact. And evidently Green Bay gets
ball.
The ball.
Yep. Looks like, is that Corey Hall at the bottom of that pile?
You can see here, he's hit. The ball comes out as he hits the ground. Yep. He was down.
Yep. No debate about it.
Typically, you would have seen the official come in, signal. You've seen him do it all the time. Pat on the ground. Okay, down by contact. And then they'd sort it out to see if indeed it was a continuation of the play. This one turned out right both ways.
All right, first down for Green Bay on the flea flicker.
On a 3rd and 3. Wow.
Rodgers, plenty of daylight ahead. And he's looking for a flag. And I don't blame him. That bordered helmet-on-helmet contact by the rookie Sean Weatherspoon as Rodgers went into his slide.
We've been talking about it the whole game here, Tom. Watch the upfield rush. We only have a 4-man rush here. 3-man rush for that factor. He's seeing right now the way they're playing this zone. I'm going to get some positive yards. Whoa, boy, I think he may have. Let's see if we get that. He is giving himself up there very clearly. I don't know if he actually ever hits the helmet. We're going to see right here. Nope, just hit the shoulder. So he just avoided a fine right there.
2nd and a yard. In and then out of the hands of Curtis Lofton.
Well, that was lethal. That was a broken play. Aaron Rodgers looks like Greg Jennings. He expected Greg Jennings to look hot. He has to get the ball out of his hand quickly. I'm not sure Jennings even see the ball come out yet. Look, he's not even looking for the ball. He did not anticipate this. Wow, that would have been huge for Atlanta. But Aaron Rodgers thinking Greg Jennings was looking hot with the pressure, and he did not. Miscommunication there.
I got to tell you, if I'm Mike Smith, I'm having another look at that play. I might consider challenging this call. Doesn't look like he's going to. That replay we saw a moment ago appeared as though Lofton may have had control of the ball, looking for Jordy Nelson. And he makes the reception inside the 2-yard line.
What a great job by Jordy Nelson getting his feet in bounds. Jordy Nelson, every bit of 6'3" here. Just put it on top of the end, right foot, left foot. You could see the tire come up out of the field. The ground up tires, that's what these fields are made of. What a beautiful play. Left foot, right foot, complete control through the process, our favorite statement. Nice job by Jordy Nelson. Great throw by Aaron Rodgers.
So now it's 1st and goal.
This has got quarterback draw written all over it as well. Spread it out. They flattened out the linebackers.
You called it. And a touchdown.
Well, anytime you go to an empty backfield, whether it was called this way or you have a word that triggers it, Aaron Rodgers, we've already talked about what kind of athlete. There are no linebackers here to affect the play. I don't know if this was a play call or whether it's something he got to, but they dialed it up just at the right time.
So now point after away from tying the game at 10 is Mason Crosby. It's the first rushing touchdown led inside of the red zone this season by this Atlanta defense. Rodgers, their leading rusher, finds pay dirt to tie it the 3rd. Seven plays, 80 yards. The big throw, 28 yards to Jordy Nelson to get him inside the 1-yard line, and Rodgers took care of business after that to tie this game.
Over half those plays were in a 5-receiver set with no backs, Tom. That tells me the Green Bay Packers know we're not going to get much out of the running game. We're going to have to get it with the underneath passing game.
And Williams will take a knee. We wondered, was it an interception by Curtis Lofton? How about it, Brian Billick?
Yeah, we wondered whether it should be reviewed. You can see right here, the ball comes out. Would not have been a good review, and the Green Bay Packers capitalize on it afterwards.
7:17 to play in the 3rd quarter. We're tied at 10. Atlanta for the football from its own 20. And an early start by Justin Peele, the tight end on the left side.
False start, number 87 offense. 5-yard penalty remains, 1st down.
We've seen some uncharacteristic things from Atlanta, Tom, like we talked about. The penalties has been uncharacteristic of this team, and it has cost them to a degree. Now, all of a sudden, now seems like a little thing, but you start a drive 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. That's not a good thing.
Atlanta averages just a little over 3 penalties per game, fewest in the NFL. And Green Bay has made remarkable strides in that category. Handed off to Snelling, and that did not fool Charles Woodson.
Yeah, now you're really behind the count. You just turned a 1st and 10 to now you're in a 2nd and 16. That's like a sack. And now you expect to see a couple things by Green Bay. They can go extremely passive, which always concerns you about with the Dom Capers team, because they're very good at making trap calls, dropping out linemen, bringing DBs and linebackers into positions you're not used to seeing them, trying to force one of those turnovers.
4-man rush. And a little flip to Snelling out of the backfield, and after all of that, you maybe picked up a half a yard.
Well, just what we talked about, you show enough of an off zone or a passive coverage, you've got to throw the ball underneath. Now in this 3rd and 10, this would typically be a place for Dom Capers to bring pressure, with the idea that I'm going to force the quick throw underneath 10 yards and I will rally up to make the tackle.
It's been a very quiet afternoon for number 84, Roddy White. And they'll stop it as Green Bay spends a timeout. I think that the Green Bay secondary is saying, who called it?
Well, they had an extra man on the field. They tried to run Sam Shields onto the field.
There is no foul on the play. Timeout was called by Green Bay prior to the snap. Timeout, Green Bay.
We talk about how Atlanta and Green Bay roll their personnel through. And in this instance, Atlanta caught him off guard and in-ran Sam Shields trying to get to a nickel defensive coverage. Obviously, that was not the configuration they were in. Tried to get off. Looked like one of the linemen. Oddly enough, the lineman saw it, stood up, and timed out a good timeout. But this is the kind of throw that we're talking about on a 3rd and long, 2nd and long. These are like draw plays, short screens. This is pretty good. This is just a little lob pass to Shaquille O'Neal, or in this instance, Jason Snelling. And Jason Snelling has been a great addition for them. His ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, they like to throw screens to him in these types of situations. 2nd and long, 3rd and long. He's been a great addition to go with Michael Turner.
Did you just make an NBA reference?
How about that?
That's the first one of the year. 3rd down and 9. Only a 3-man rush. Snelling. And he's able to get to a first down.
Wow, that's what did we just say, Tom? The ability to drop the ball off underneath the chains, let my receivers, let my backs make a play, and that was just sheer determination by Jason Snelling. We saw a game here. We had over 186 yards of offense on this type of thing, not only running the ball, but look at this power. He knows where the first down marker is. He knows exactly where it is. Great pickup by Jason Snelling.
Closing in on 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. From the 31, they give it to Turner. And Desmond Bishop wraps him up after a gain of maybe a yard.
All right, got a Billick 101 for you, Tom. Tyson Clabo's doing a great job against Clay Matthews. What do you do in pass pro? Get your hands up and ready to play quickly. Second, you got to have that firm inside anchor because you can't get beat inside. And finally, do you have that violent 6-inch punch, that ability to deliver a blow in a very short space?
Blitz coming on a 2nd and 9. And Ryan able to get it away to Roddy White, just his 2nd catch of the afternoon, covered by Woodson. Brings up another 3rd down.
And as good a job as Tyson Clabo's doing, Matthews coming off that edge, you better get to him a couple different ways, whether it's chip with the tight end. Looks like he's coming down inside. They're the tight end to give a presence, turn out, go ahead and turn the guard outside. Didn't need to do it because now they were going to try to spy one of those trap defenses I talked about, run Clay Matthews in the middle and see if he can trick you into a turnover.
Need to get to the 41 for a first down. Catch up to the 47. Back-to-back receptions made by Roddy White.
Boy, that's one of those subtle plays that you see out of a quarterback and a receiver that have been together for a while now. That ability to just drop the ball off. Matt Ryan threw the ball where he had to throw it for a completion. Not where Roddy White was open. Maybe not where Roddy White expected the ball, but where I needed to throw it to get the first down.
Not only does Roddy White lead the NFL in overall receptions, he's 1st and 3rd down receptions. Ryan lays it off for Tony Gonzalez, and he's to the 38-yard line. That'll be another Falcons first down.
What we talk about the ability of the running game to affect your passing game. I want you to watch the way everybody reacts to this stretch play. They've got to come down, and now Tony Gonzalez just sneaks out with no one around it whatsoever. They have to react to the running game that way because of the way Michael Turner's got it cranked up.
Gonzalez leading Atlanta, 5 catches, 51 yards.
He's killing the play, which means from one side to the other. Turning.
Still on his feet and run out of bounds by Pepra at the 12.
This is what Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons do so well. They come up with a 2 tight end, 2 back alignment. He's going to get the look that he wants to run this play. He kills it, goes back away from where obviously the defense was set, giving Michael Turner the alley he needed for the big play.
Turner now 1 yard shy of his 6th 100-yard rushing game of the season. He's up over 100. And then some. My goodness, what a load.
Well, we said it before. Mike McCarthy said his lower body's like that of a 275-pound man. I'd say it's more like a 300-pound man. Look at the way he carries his pads. Always over his feet. It's like tackling a bowling ball. And look at the push he gets. That's no small man in the middle of that defensive line. And he just bounces off it, keeps the legs moving, getting constant positive yards. You love that as a play caller.
This time, Snelling. Looks like he's short.
But it looks like he got the first down.
They needed to get to the 2 for the first down, and he picked it up inside the 2.
Yeah, again, look at the athletic. Look at the bounce. He was inside, bounced outside. Gets the ball right down. Boy, it's hugging right on the goal line. Nice job. Truman Williams coming in. That's a big man. There's a lot of beef in this backfield. You're talking about Turner that goes better than 240. Ovi Mahaley, 250-plus yards. Jason Snelling, 225. There's a lot of beef back there.
And what a play defensively. First by Bishop, and then Charlie Pepra coming up to finish him off before he could get to the end zone.
That's just pulling a trigger. We talk about on the goal line. You got to decide, do I go coverage or do I go all out, react to the run? Look at that right now. No indecision. Great goal line defense by the Packers.
Well, the Falcons do not have to run a play before the end of the third quarter, although it looks like they're going to give it a go. Turner did not get there. So that will bring up a 3rd and goal when we come back for the 4th quarter. At the end of 3, the Packers 10, the Falcons 10. Fox NFL Sunday continues after a word from your local Fox station. Well, you said it, Brian Billick. We expected a playoff-like atmosphere. That it's been. Off to the 4th quarter we go, tied at 10.
Well, they've kept their goal line personnel in. Now, keep in mind, Green Bay is awfully stout. 300-pounders across the board here. This might be a place for a play-action pass.
Tony Gonzalez on motion, 3rd down and goal, and they're going to throw it. Looking for Gonzalez. And I don't think he got into the end zone. He did not. All right, Brian Billick. It's 4th down and goal. What are you doing here if you are Mike Smith in a 10-10 game?
Well, the first thing he's going to do is decide whether he wants to challenge this thing or not to see if he broke the plane. We're going to look at it right here. Does he have control? I don't know that the ball ever broke it. He's asking his guys up in the booth right now whether he should challenge it or not. He is. And it's worth a challenge. All the ball, he has control, there's no question. Did it break the plane? Plus, you know what? This gives you some time to discuss it as well, Tom. We're going to see it here. It looks like he has control. Now, stop right there. Did it break the plane? And remember now,
Atlanta is challenging and ruling on the field that the receiver had control over the goal line.
I got to tell you, Brian Billick, I see a little bit of separation in there after contact was made by Pepra on the ball. Watch the ball in the left hand of Gonzalez when we come back, whether he actually had possession of the ball. An Atlanta challenge on the call on the field that it was a catch, but he didn't break the plane. Let's go to the Fox Command Center. Mike Pereira, former head of the NFL officials. How do you see it from back there?
Well, you know, I think it's one of those where it's impossible to prove it one way or the other. This is kind of one of those, I think it stands. I think they need to say stands here.
After
Nothing
reviewing
conclusive.
the play, the ruling on the field stands. Atlanta will be charged with
So, Mike, well, how did you see it here?
Well, you've got that bobble. You've got this bobble that you actually see from both angles. And to me, it's not conclusive enough when that left hand kind of comes off the ball there. Yeah, I think that's what you've got to rule and stay with that call.
All right, we thank Mike Pereira. 4th down, and it looks like Atlanta's going for it. They are going for it.
Yeah, and again, as I said earlier, Green Bay's got a lot of beef here. This is going to be mano on mano.
They're 3 for 3 on 4th down and 1 this year. Make it 4 out of 4. Turner to the end zone.
Just the kind of play you want from Michael Turner. As I said, Green Bay's got a lot of 300-pounders along that line. The defensive end and linebacker spike down in. Michael Turner's got magical feet in terms of his ability to step sidewards and over people and get into the end zone. Total sellout by Green Bay. Only way you're really going to stop that great play by Michael Turner.
Well, we have nearly an entire quarter left to go in this one. If this is a preview of what we're going to see in January, hang on, brother. .24 to play at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. 17-10, the Falcons in front. Fox Sports is so proud to support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where they're doing wonderful work every day to help kids battle cancer. Please join us in the fight and donate now at stjude.org/Fox Sports. What could be more important than helping a child? Sam Shields trying to turn the corner and unable to do so, and a flag comes in. Great coverage again by Atlanta, but will another penalty tack on yardage what was a very short return by Green Bay? Or is it the other way?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what this one is.
Atlanta reacting as though it's against the Packers. And the return man, Sam Shields.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 37, receiving kick.
Yep.
After distance on the ball, first down.
That's Shields for running his hand up under the chin.
Yeah, the personal foul from the standpoint of just hand on the face mask. Oh, it brushed very quickly. You can get a face mask on offensive player as well, but that one, boy, it just brushed off the top.
Having a hard time believing that.
Someone's going to have to explain that one. But in any case, this has backed up Green Bay into the shadow of their own goal line. Great opportunity for Atlanta. If they can get a 3-and-out here.
All right, backed up inside the 7.
Again, 5 wide receivers, no backs.
Atlanta blitzes and quickly to Jordy Nelson for a first down and some breathing room to the 20. How do the Falcons win? And let's compare it to what they've done today. Coming in, +10 turnover ratio, +1 in the game. 21, an NFL high. 5+ minute drives leading to big points. They have 3 of them for all 17 of their points today. Penalties, 1 more than what they average offensively.
Yeah, and that's the uncharacteristic one, but the other 2 are offsetting it right now.
Rodgers buying some time, and he will run it. Slides up close to another first down, and let's go and slide our way to Los Angeles and check in with Kurt Menefee.
Jake Delhomme now quarterbacking for Cleveland against his old team, Carolina. Boy, the Panthers saw a lot of this, didn't they? Captain Mutterlin picks him off, takes it back to 6. Pick 6 by Jake. I actually like it. He's a good guy, but that doesn't help. 21-20, Cleveland trying to hold on right now in the 3rd quarter. Tom, Brian?
Yeah, Kurt likes him. If you're his head coach, you're not liking him.
Yeah, we're going to have a long discussion about that one. Again, back to the no back. Right now, that has been getting out of his hands quick. He'll take the short completions.
Blitz coming, and Rodgers maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Chauncey Davis wrapped him up.
Nice job pinching off on the inside. It's like we saw on the touchdown run. No backers in behind it, but you're going to watch the interior of the line, knowing there are no linebackers behind you. They pinch off on the inside, collapse very quickly because of the potential of the quarterback draw. Nice play by the defensive line of the Atlanta Falcons.
Aaron Rodgers is the only Green Bay Packer with positive rushing yards in this game. Just like a run, the first touch in the last 2 games for John Kuhn. And he's close to a first down. Some of the numbers around the league, you heard about Cleveland. The Giants trailing Jacksonville. Well, the Giants are a hard team to figure. A lot of height. And they've taken steps backwards. Minnesota leading Washington. And Pittsburgh in a tough one at Buffalo. But this is the game in the NFL, at least the early games today.
Yeah, it feels like a playoff game, doesn't it, Tom?
30 yard. They've not converted one of these today with anyone else besides Aaron Rodgers. But they do this time as Brandon Jackson crosses midfield to the 49, and they'll move the chains.
Well, this is kind of the emotional response we've been talking about the whole day. Atlanta driving the length of the field, going for it on a 4th down to take the emotional edge in this game. And now Green Bay answering back, starting back on the 5 or 6 yard line in the shadow of their own goal line. Now have got it out in the midfield. Either going to run down into here or play action pass it.
Well, you called it. And Jackson cuts it back to the inside and picks up close to 4. 2 of the hottest teams, 2 of the hottest quarterbacks coming into the game today. Rodgers has not thrown a touchdown, has been very efficient. But of course his fumble at the 1 yard line gave Ryan and the Falcons the ball when it dribbled into the end zone, recovered by Atlanta. And Ryan took him down the field, completing 7 passes on that drive to give him a 10-3 lead. Green Bay would tie it in the 3rd. Atlanta's taken a lead here in the 4th. Jennings just short of a first down, wrapped up by Brent Grimes. Of course, in our Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, Terry Bradshaw picked his top 5 quarterbacks under the age of 30. 3 and 4 playing in this one.
Yeah, good combination. That last one, Sam Bradford. I like what I see in Sam Bradford, but that's a little high for my money. I think he's going to be a good one.
3rd down and a yard. Overthrown, the intended target, James Jones. Green Bay looking at the sideline. Aaron Rodgers says, come on, let's go for it. And his coach sent the punt team out, called him back and said, we're going for it.
A little indecision there, though. You don't like to see that. But Aaron Rodgers, we saw Mike Smith, the Atlanta Falcons, make the same type of decision in the same part of the field. Green Bay's got to answer here and convert just like they did.
Blitz coming. Rodgers throws. And was it a catch or not? No, not a catch.
Well, they brought the pressure, and as we said, Aaron Rodgers is very good against the pressure. You're going to see the linebacker coming off the edge here as well. Wasn't able to get the throw off that he needed to get the ball to Jennings. Huge stop by the Atlanta Falcons.
One team can run it. The other team can't. (17-10) after the 4th down try that fails. Atlanta gets a football at its own 41. Down to 9 minutes and 12 seconds to play, and Turner picks up 4. Well, there's Thanksgiving weekend every weekend. But we invite you to join the NFL in its commitment to making the next generation of youth and families the most active and healthy. Join the movement and pledge to play 60 at NFLRush.com. They honored 11 youngsters as fitness MVPs on the field before the game here today. Selected from the 28,000 students in the Falcons' First Down for Fitness program, a program of NFL Plays 60. Completion to Ronnie White, a first down to the 45. And let's send it once again back to Kurt Menefee.
The Giants were down 17-6 to the Jaguars at halftime, but they battled back. Eli Manning hooking up with Mario Manningham, 26-yard score and a 2-point conversion. And suddenly it's tied at 17 in the fourth quarter. The Giants trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Tom and Brian.
Kurt, thank you very much. We're under 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So first down for Atlanta with the ball and the lead. And Ryan to throw it. Turner, the catch is met immediately at the 40.
And this is what Atlanta is built for. Their ability in the fourth quarter to run the ball that sets up the ability to either make the shot down the field with play action or dump it off when they want to turn and go coverage. This is exactly what Mike Smith had in mind when he put together this combination of drafting in Matt Ryan, bringing in Michael Turner as a free agent, adding the tight end and Tony Gonzalez. What he's doing defensively, this team is put together with this style of play specifically in mind.
Really, Green Bay in a situation where it cannot even allow a field goal here, which would make it obviously a 2-possession game. On second down, Turner for a couple of yards. It'll bring up third down and 4. This is a critical third down for the Packers defensively, trying to get it back and keep it a 1-possession game. Well, we understand that Snelling is injured, a hamstring injury. His return is questionable. As you look at the numbers for Ryan, perfect here in the second half, but only having to throw it 9 times in the entire second half.
They're bunched up in here, likely to see either a motion or rebuild this 3-by-1, although they may be looking from Gonzalez on the backside, one-on-one.
Blitz coming, he gets it away, and it's knocked out of the hands of Gartrell Johnson. That is not a completed pass, I don't believe, although the officials they're saying it is a catch, but it only picked up a yard, so out comes the punting unit.
Yeah, it looked like he did have control. Makes no difference. He wasn't in close to the first down. Where the two teams have gone for it in these situations the last couple times. Now clearly Atlanta here with a 7-point lead, going to try to pin Green Bay down as far as they can.
So Green Bay defensively stands tall and forces the Atlanta punt. Falcons had a chance to
Looks
just
like they're coming after it.
Trying to force him off sides, it appeared. End over end punt by Kanan. And a fair catch by Tramon Williams. 5:59 left. Can Rodgers take him down the field for a game-tying touchdown? 5:59 to play. Green Bay gets the football back. Brian Billick, if you're standing on the sideline, you got plenty of time. You have 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, they're built for this. They've got their 4 and 5 wide offense. They're not into running the ball a whole lot right now. Intelligent receiving core. They're built for this type of drive right here.
And naturally, they're going to run it on first down. Brandon Jackson up to the 15-yard line. Brian, go back to your days as an offensive coordinator and later, of course, a very successful Super Bowl winning head coach. When the other team knows you're going to throw it and that you have to throw it, how do you throw it?
Well, you got to protect. You got to make sure you don't leave yourself vulnerable. But they've got the personnel to move the ball down the field with their entire offense, even if they're not going to run the ball a great deal. Aaron Rodgers is as good as there is at orchestrating this drive. You'll throw in the occasional trap or draw. They're staying with the no huddle because clearly time is a factor for them, and they're getting close to where they get into the 4-down territory with their calls.
Reception for a first down made by Corliss. to the 25. Set up a screen to Jackson, and you can't play it any better than Dante Robinson.
Nice job recognizing the quick little screen. This is their running game, and we said all along that Aaron Rodgers knew this would be a 30-plus completion type game. He's going to be patient. You're not going to panic Aaron Rodgers, nor are you going to panic the Atlanta defense and be too aggressive to give you that big play down the field. Not with a 7-point lead.
False start, number 73. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And you can see it right here with the move. When you take this long to orchestrate your drives, that's a long time for a lineman to hang in that stance. Darren College, obviously a tough for the offensive lineman, starting to get loud. This building can be loud. I'm not sure if I'm not Mike Smith. I'm getting this crowd cranked up. If you're going to do this in the playoffs, it's got to get a whole lot louder than this.
Those players on the sideline, led by Tony Gonzalez, are trying to get them cranked up. Blitz coming. Rodgers across the field, and a first down again to the tight end Corliss, who's replacing the injured Jermichael Finley, Aaron Rodgers' favorite target.
What do we say about pressure against Aaron Rodgers? They had a free runner on the outside with Coy Bierman. Rodgers knowing how long he could hold on to the ball to make the big play.
Closing in on the 4-minute mark.
Now Atlanta going, nope, you got me once. I'm going to stay passive again.
Plenty of time on the play clock. 12, 11. They hand it off to Jackson, and he cuts it back to the middle of the field. And Jackson up to the 49-yard line.
And you could say, well, where's this running game been? They've had a couple runs of this drive. They haven't been able to do it the whole game long. Now it's a matter of what I'm going to do is simply hand the ball off. And because they're in this passive mode, they don't want to get, just gouge them with the pass. The running lanes open up a great deal.
Rodgers escapes trouble looking down the field. Somebody to come back for the ball, and no one does. He had receivers at the 5, receivers at the 10, receivers at the 25, and nobody came back to get it.
Yeah, typically on a scramble drill, you have 3 elements. Somebody's got to go vertical. Someone works the intermediate, working back in an angle for the quarterback, and someone shallow underneath. This is all Aaron Rodgers here. He's orchestrating every aspect of it. They're smart not to go their 5 wides and no back, because from a protection standpoint, there's the specter of the back staying in for protection.
First down at the 45, and a dangerous throw nearly intercepted by Thomas Deku. Let's quickly go to Los Angeles.
Well, your big matchup has lived up to its pregame hype, and we hope the same thing happens in Game 2 of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. MVP candidate and former Falcon Michael Vick leads the first-place Eagles into the first-place Bears when you guys are done. Tom and Brian?
All right, Kurt, thank you. Second down and 10.
Showing pressure by the backers, but I think they'll drop out.
Yep, they did. Great protection. And a strike delivered to Jennings. And he's thrown down at the 30-yard line by Brent Grimes. It's another first down.
You know, and even in that, Aaron Rodgers is such a smart quarterback. You try to bluff. There's even a tell in the bluff, in the way that you go about bluffing coverages or bluffing defense.
Jennings doesn't know what the play is. He's standing over there with his hands in the air. And maybe Rodgers knew where he was going all along, so he didn't bother to tell him. That's a catch made by Jackson out of the backfield of the 21. Under 2.5 to go at the Georgia Dome. To the back of the end zone. Is it a touchdown? No. Out of bounds is James Jones. What a throw by Rodgers.
And what a catch. In the old rule a couple years ago, this might have even been ruled a touchdown with a force out. But you're going to see here in the corner, he gets the left foot down. The right foot down's not going to make it. In the old rule, a force out might have been able to say, no, he would have had the catch, but that's not the way now. You got to get both feet down regardless. Really a heck of a throw and catch. Aaron Rodgers got caught off guard with the snap. They're having to change up the snap count with the lifting of the leg, and it looked like that ball surprised him that the ball came out quicker than he was ready for. Look at it right here. You try to change up the count. The lifting of the leg is the snap count. He was looking outside at the coverage of the receiver. Good thing he got his vision back as quickly as he did.
All right, 4th down in the yard. What are you going to do right here?
Well, you got to throw it. The running the ball hasn't worked for you. They've run the quarterback draw at this situation. You're going to look down the field. They've gone to a 3-by-2 alignment. Nobody in the backfield. You got to be worried about pressure here and getting the ball out quick.
And a play clock down to 2. I don't know if they got it off. No flags down. And Rodgers, a shovel pass, is caught by Jones, who spins his way inside the 5-yard line. And Mike Smith livid on the Atlanta sideline. He looked up at that clock and wasn't sure.
Number 29 to the defense. Penalty will be declined. Also a play is a first down.
Wow. This is just the way you draw it up in street ball. Turn left at the trash can. You go deep at the Ford. You know, you're just running around on a critical situation. 4th down and a long one. I guarantee you this isn't the way it was designed, but now all of a sudden you're sitting with 1st down inside the 5-yard line. This is just players playing ball. Aaron Rodgers, hey, look at this guy. Absolutely cool. He's as cool as the other side of the pillow. Not ruffled in this situation. He knows exactly what he wants to do. Again, no back, opening it up.
Ball loose, and Rodgers got it back.
Wow.
Stripped away by John Abraham, but Rodgers able to cover it up. Rodgers has already fumbled once, and that was to the 1-yard line. 2-minute warning. Green Bay tries to tie.
Yeah.
1:54 to go. Green Bay down by 7. 2nd and goal. Blitz coming. Incomplete.
Tom, let's go back and look at this because people may be a little confused. You see the clock right here. You can see it's running down. Now it's the process again, the official responsible for the clock. When he says 0, he now has to look to see if the ball is snapped. There's a subtle delay there, as little as it may be, that they were just able to get the ball off. Naked eye says they didn't get it off, but the process of what the official has to do favored the Green Bay Packers.
Third down and goal. Dump it off to Jackson. A swarm of Falcons surround him. 4th and goal from the 5. And unquestionably the biggest play of the game upcoming.
Well, they're back into their 5 wide. They're going to open up both edges. Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. Do you bring pressure, force the quicker throw, or do you drop everybody into the end zone and cut down on the windows for Aaron Rodgers to throw into? Wow.
Full start. Number 75. Offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 4th down.
Now I'm going to say something that's going to sound really stupid here, but it won't be the last or the first time I've done that. I'm not saying going to now at 10 yards instead of 5 yards is necessarily a good thing, but in this instance, you actually buy a little more room. Think about it. You've got a larger area to cover if you're a defense now. May indeed open up a window that you might not have otherwise had down inside the 5. So there's a lot more area here for Atlanta to have to cover. Three-man rush.
Corner of the end zone is in a catch. It is a touchdown. Jordy Nelson on the missile delivered by Aaron Rodgers, and they're a point after away from tying the game.
Mike McCarthy's hustling his team on. Here you can see, this is just what I'm talking about. This becomes a larger area to have to cover. You uncover a receiver like this, Aaron Rodgers buys all the time he can with a three-man rush, and you get a touchdown. No question about that. Left foot down, right foot down, left foot down. Control through the process. Absolutely a touchdown.
What a drive, what a drive. And now the point after away. Mason Crosby. We are tied at 17. Aaron Rodgers pumping his fifth in celebration, and rightfully so. A drive which began from their own 10-yard line, 16 plays, converted twice on fourth down, including 4th and goal to tie it on a touchdown to Jordy Nelson. What a drive. Falcons still have just under a minute. And Weems is pulled down. And that'll be a face mask from the 35. This will move him all the way out to the 50. And now Matt Ryan is going to have a chance to put his team in field goal position to win it. I believe the face mask was against Matt Wilhelm, a backup linebacker.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask. Number 34, the kicking team. 15-yard penalty automatic. First down.
Clear cut. You reach out here. Looks like he's going to break out. This had big play written all over it. That's the jerking kind that brings the head around. Tom, we've seen this movie before. We were in this building 2 years ago, a signature win for the Atlanta Falcons then in Mike Smith's first year as the head coach against the Chicago Bears. We saw the Chicago Bears drive the length of the field to go ahead, what looked like the go-ahead winning touchdown. And in this same situation, Matt Ryan, actually with a whole lot less time and no timeouts, get him into field goal position.
If you're wondering about Matt Bryant, his season long is 51. First down catch, and then some for White, who tiptoes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. To get to a 51-yard field goal try, they would only need about 6 more yards.
You'd like to keep this one timeout of the Falcons in your back pocket as you climb down on the clock. Again, you need about 18 seconds to run what's called a bingo field goal, to run your field goal team out onto the field if you're out of timeouts. They've got plenty of time with the timeout to put themselves into field goal position.
Blitz coming. Well, that's a dangerous throw, but a catch is made by Jenkins. Clock continues to run. Under 35 seconds remaining.
He's going to kill this. No, he changed his mind. Go ahead and execute a play. He was about to kill the ball, but now he's going to run an actual play.
Blitz coming again. He goes to Harry Douglas, who steps out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So right now, it would be a, 50-yard field goal try.
All-out pressure by the Green Bay Packers. Matt Ryan, so cool under pressure to get the ball out of his hands. Right now, it's all about do not take a sack, do not lose yardage. How much more can I move this ball and help my field goal kicker?
They get it away. Shoved out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Again, as Douglas, his first 2 catches here in the second half. Stopping the clock with 18 seconds left. Matt Bryant has been a money kicker. He has 11 game-winning field goal drives as Matt Ryan. And now we're talking about the field goal percentages of the kicker, Matt Bryant. This season, inside the yellow line, which would put him at the 21. So in essence, it's an under 40-yard field goal. Inside the red line, he has a 72% success rate. Anything outside that 31-yard line, red stripe, 31%.
Those percentages are all well and good, but as a coach right now, I'm only interested in one percentage. I want you 1 for 1 right here.
Yeah. Those percentages for that poor kid from Boise State.
Yeah, boy. And the good, look at these numbers, boy. Absolutely perfect in the second half. With a timeout, the Atlanta Falcons have the whole playbook. They can run whatever they want. They can run the ball. He can take the time to throw it down the field. He can drop it off underneath because they've got the timeout in their back pocket to bring it down and put the full field goal team on the field.
Ryan rolling and just throws it away under heavy pressure. All right, 13 seconds left. Brian, it's a field goal time as they will send out Matt Bryant.
Well, we said coming out of the half, the team with the ball last was probably going to have an opportunity to win the game. And that's exactly where we're at here. You know, rolling out to the right, I understand why they did it. I don't like that for a quarterback because it cuts your field by a third in terms of your options.
This will be spotted at the 37. This will be a 47-yard field goal try. 11 game-winning kicks in his career. And timeout was called before the kick.
Timeout.
He had more than enough.
Green Bay, third and final team timeout.
And there's a lot of debate. Is this the right thing to do for me? And I'm not a golfer, so I don't understand totally the mentality. But as bad as golfer as I am, you give me 2 shots at it, get my range and whatever, I got a decent chance of at least, you know.
That's why that's why they don't allow you to hit the same spot
Right.
twice.
What they call that, a mulligan?
Yeah.
Well, you've just given the guy a mulligan to kind of hone in his range, but we'll see.
Of course, a lot of this became vogue in terms of icing a free throw shooter in the game of basketball, particularly at the collegiate level. All right, here we go. We'll do it again. Here we go. 37-yard marker where they'll spot it. A 47-yard attempt by Bryant. He got it. After the game-tying touchdown, a good return by Weems, a face mask penalty tacked on 15 more, and Ryan puts him in range.
Yeah, and that's why those kickers are out there at practice. Unbelievable. That's all they do all day, just for times just like that. Got to give the young man credit. Matt Ryan going, all right, son, I'm now on the verge of going 19-1 at home. I like those percentages. Aaron Rodgers saying, please go left, go left.
They only had to go 20 yards after the face mask penalty.
Yeah, the penalty, and the penalties have been an issue for the Packers. Again, not as much this year as previous years. Mike McCarthy does all the things you're supposed to do. You bring officials out into the practice. You emphasize the pre and post factors with it. It's hard to blame the guy making the tackle because Weems was about to pop that thing out for a kickoff return for a touchdown.
You're wondering, the Packers are out of timeouts. Only 9 seconds remaining. And Atlanta calls timeout.
Timeout. Atlanta, third and final team timeout. Be a 30-second timeout.
And you do that typically, you'll line up. You want to see the way they're configured. That gives your special teams coach, I mean, why not burn the timeout now? And see, okay, where do I want to put this ball? Do I want to squib it? Do I want to kick it down? How did they configure themselves? Now, Green Bay has to decide, do we come out and show them the same thing, the same configuration, or am I going to do something a little different to try to take advantage of what they think they need to do with the ball now? Gamesmanship going all the way down to the last second.
The Atlanta Falcons trying to maintain the best record in the NFC and stay a game in front of New Orleans, the defending Super Bowl champions, and Tampa Bay going into play today, also just a game and a half back.
Well, we talked about home field advantage, what it means to these teams. Got a lot of football left to play. Green Bay back of Chicago now. This loss, Green Bay is by no means, if indeed they lose today, a lock for the playoffs.
Cannon approaches and hits a line drive. Picked up by Sam Shields. The clock is running. And Shields is tackled at the 20. Clock at 2 seconds left. Great coverage by Eric Weems. America's Game of the Week coming up next. Of course, the Packers will be rooting hard for the Philadelphia Eagles in Chicago. Bears and the Packers went in tied atop the NFC North going into play today. Now take a look at this defensive alignment for Atlanta. Everything in front of them. They have a wide receiver basically playing center field in Brian Finneran. Final play of the game. Jennings still on his feet and throws back into play, and it's out of bounds, and that will end the game. The Atlanta Falcons remain unbeaten at home. They go to 9-2 on the year in a game that certainly felt like an NFL playoff game here today.
Well, a lot of ramifications to it. We talked about how the downside for Green Bay as well.
So for Brian Billick, Laura Oakman, our entire crew, so long from Atlanta, 20-17 Falcons. Let's go back to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.